Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am standing out in front of the Lewiston Police Department, Lewiston, Maine. Let's talk about Robert Card, the mass shooter who did a terrible tragedy in this community, Lewiston, Maine. 2 mass shootings he did, right? 18 people killed, multiple people injured. Went to a bowling alley, then to a bar. It was terror, so sad. So I pray so much for the community. But it seems like, according to reports, police knew about this guy for a while and actually sent alerts out to other law enforcement, to be on the lookout for this guy, right? They had warnings, according to this report, right? This is a News Nation report, and I want to share this report with you. Police were alerted just last month about Maine shooter's threats. We couldn't locate him. That's this report, and it's wild. Police across Maine were alerted just last month to threats by the U.S. Army reservists who would go on to carry out the worst mass shooting in Maine history. One of a string of missed red flags that preceded the massacre. Red flag. Like they're saying law enforcement sent out alerts about this guy, but couldn't find him? 2 local law enforcement chiefs told the Associated Press that a statewide awareness alert was sent out in mid-September to be on the lookout for Robert Card after the firearms instructor made threats against his base, his military base, and fellow soldiers. But after stepped-up patrols of the base and a visit to Card's home, neither of which turned up any sign of him, the police moved on. We added extra patrols. We did that for about 2 weeks. The guy never showed up, said Jack Clements, the police chief in Saco, home to the U.S. Army Reserve Base where Card trained. This is called Sagadacock. County Sheriff Joel Murray, whose jurisdiction includes Card's home in Bowden, said the Army reservists tipped his department in September to the reservist threats, and the sheriff sent the awareness alert to every law enforcement agency in the state after his deputy came back empty-handed from a welfare check at Card's home. So they went to his home. We couldn't locate him, Murray said, adding that he couldn't recall if there was any follow-up because I don't have any reports in front of me. Military authorities did not comment to this story, but it's wild, right? Because authorities knew about this guy, sent out an alert, but they didn't notify the community. Why? Or do you think they shouldn't have? Do you think they were trying to keep this tight-lipped about Card and try to locate him, and they went to his house for a wellness check and then just went one time and that's it? And then you leave and not go back? Don't you think there should be follow-up welfare checks when law enforcement goes to a location to check about a person that could be a potential danger? They're not there, so you just leave and never go back? Or did they go back? I think police have a lot of explaining to do. We do thank our law enforcement out there, with this particular tragedy, who are out there, finding him and locating Mr. Card. But it seems like with this, there has been a lot of missed opportunities to possibly prevent this tragedy. Because if they would have picked him up on the threats, he might have been in custody at the time. Will there be lawsuits out of this? Could some of the victims' families start, petitioning the courts or the law enforcement for open records, seeing what's out there? Are there records about Card that these law enforcement agencies, not just the Lewiston Police, but any agency in the state of Maine or U.S. military has of this guy? Is there stuff we still do not know? When they went to his house for a welfare check, did they speak to any of Card's family members? A lot of unanswered questions. We're looking into this. I Am JLR Investigates out in Lewiston, Maine, in front of the Lewiston Police Department. But we do thank law enforcement putting themselves on the lines, looking for this guy. But what about beforehand? Do you think, there's some responsibility on their end? Makes it interesting. We'll talk soon. Check out my playlist, Boots on the Ground. When new information comes out about Mr. Card and more about this, I will share with all of you. Stay tuned.